Honorable Prime Minister of Nepal, all the Honorable Ministers who have accompanied the Right Honorable Prime Minister from Nepal, Excellencies, Ambassador of Nepal to India, Ambassador of India to Nepal, both the Presidents of CII and FNCCI and other delegation members from both sides, members of the Nepal-India CEO Forum, the 70-strong contingent that has taken the time to come with the Honorable Prime Minister and visit India, captains of industry from both sides, friends from the media, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. It's indeed a great privilege to extend a very warm welcome to His Excellency, the Right Honorable Shri Pushpa Kamal Dahal ji, the Prime Minister of Nepal. I had the privilege of getting to know him better over lunch this afternoon. And I found him very pleasing, very good to converse with a very practical, down-to-earth approach. We were recounting several experiences of the past when he was in my home city, earlier in 2008, then in probably one more stint after that in 2016, was it you said? I was also immensely pleased to hear that his daughter, Behan Kamal Dahalji, has also spent time in Mumbai, has spent time in Delhi. A warm welcome to you, ma'am. And that's what set me thinking. This is not a friendship. This is not a partnership. This is family. Nepal and India are part of the same family. What we share, this relationship, is not confined to political or geostrategic, geopolitical or economic issues alone. We have a shared history, a deep cultural affinity, strong friendship. We are not only connected through common history, but we have strong bonds of religion, cultural threads intermingle between the people of Nepal and India almost seamlessly, as do the open borders, which allow free flow of people, also goods, also commerce, trade, contributing to the integration of both countries as within a family. What Ambassador was mentioning was a statement Honorable Prime Minister had made way back in 2014, extending an arm of brotherhood to the people of Nepal, that India does not look at Nepal from a big brother, small brother perspective. We look at Nepal, the people of Nepal, as equals, as brothers whom we respect deeply. And it is that element of this relationship which has further been strengthened both in the very, very important and outcome-oriented discussions that Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the Right Honorable Prime Minister Shri Pushpa Kamal Dahal Prachanda ji had today, that are being strengthened by all of you captains of industry through your engagement, through this India-Nepal Business Summit. And I do hope in the years to come, we'll work in the same spirit, the spirit of oneness, the spirit not of two neighbors alone, but of people in one family, in one home, living together, working together, experiencing each other's culture, each other's own offerings, and taking prosperity to the last man at the bottom of the pyramid in both our lovely countries. In fact, today, Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi reflected on this relationship, and he said, I quote, "We will continue to strive to take India-Nepal ties to Himalayan heights." This truly exemplifies our unwavering commitment, Excellency, to you, to your government, and to the people of Nepal. India believes in Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. The world is one family, but more so when it comes to our relationship with Nepal. I think our shared interests in a variety of ways is reflected in the 7 agreements, MOUs that were exchanged during your interaction with the Honorable Prime Minister earlier today. The next time around, I would love to see many, many more MOUs than the one we exchanged this evening. And I do hope CII and FNCCI will work in that direction. We would love to see much more trade, much more investment flowing from India to Nepal and from Nepal to India. I would deeply encourage Indian investors to explore the growing opportunities in Nepal, very aptly reflected in the presentation made by their investment board, the Investment Board of Nepal, and Mr. Sushil Bhatta. And I'm sure we can together work for the shared prosperity and a bright future for the children of both countries. India believes it has a responsibility to our friends in the global south. We believe it is incumbent on all of us to work together, the developing nations, the emerging economies such as Nepal and India, and others around the world, to work together to ensure and protect the interests of less developed countries and developing countries. India wishes to be a force of global good, and whenever there is an opportunity or a calamity, whenever there's a potential to serve, I can assure all my friends from Nepal, Excellencies, that India will stand committed to be at the forefront of any support or any actions that may be required. Just like during the COVID period, India did not waver at all from our policy of supporting friends, brothers, neighbors. We will continue to persevere in our effort that both nations prosper and this relationship becomes truly a defining moment in the history of Nepal and India. Friends, our government in India has completed 9 years this week. 9 years of a new India in the making. 9 years of unprecedented combination of speed and scale of work. 9 years of good governance, of service to society, and empowerment of the poor, the marginalized sections of society. The decisive and very, very empathetic leadership that Prime Minister Modi has brought to India, with a deep clarity of purpose, honesty in action, and a fearlessness in thought, has taken India to greater heights. In fact, only yesterday, Morgan Stanley has come out with a report on this decade, which they have called the decade which transformed India, a decade in which we moved from a fragile country, which we were categorized in 2013, to a developed economy which is working with a passion to become a developed nation. Amongst the top 5 economies in the world, aspiring to become the 3rd largest economy in the next 4 or 5 years, working with the collective effort of 140 crore Indians, working with a sense of duty to take the Indian economy from $3.5 trillion today to at least $35 trillion, if not more, by 2047, when we celebrate 100 years of independence. That fire in the belly, that aspiration that every young Indian, that every person in India today carries, is our biggest strength. The 3 Ds, democracy, demographic dividend. We have a young population and will continue to have a young population for the next 3 or 4 decades. And the demand that 140 crore aspirational Indians generate is going to provide large opportunities for business and growth. Similarly, I see that same spirit, that same enthusiasm, that same excitement about the future amongst businesses and the people of Nepal reflected in our discussions with the government and their officials. I am confident that both Nepal and India can work together for the shared future of our people, for the shared prosperity of the people of both nations. The Indian story is a story of resilience, is a story of inclusive growth, is a story of sustainable growth. Nepal, with its abundant resources, with the talent that Nepal and the Nepalese people have, with the skills that are inculcated amongst Nepali brothers and sisters, will help both countries in our growth trajectory. Our GDP growth numbers have just been released, 7.2% growth in a challenging year like last year. A year where COVID had not yet got over, the Ukraine war had caused stress and distress across the world, a year where mighty nations, developed nations, saw double-digit inflation. Countries which were used to 1 or 2% inflation, experiencing double-digit inflation, high interest rates, and recessionary conditions. A year in which global growth was restricted, global trade, international trade was stressed. During this period, India has emerged as the fastest growing large economy once again, with 7.2% GDP growth last year. Also, our exports from India have grown in the last 2 years from $500 billion, which is about 38 lakh crore rupees in the year 2021, to $776 billion last year. 2 years, growth of 55%. And we've grown both in goods and services. This has only been possible because of the sheer determination, resilience, and hard work of our businesses and our workers, our managers, all the people, the Shramjeevis, the Vishwakarmas, who have contributed to India's growth story. We hope to persevere in this path. We hope to take our exports to $2 trillion by 2030, providing huge opportunities for the people of India, for the businesses in India. And we invite you, Excellency, to be a part of this journey, to be an integral part of this journey, to work hand in hand. Let us take this journey together. Let us work to build infrastructure together, to build power plants together, to work for promoting tourism together, just like I believe most Indians are looking forward to a visit to Pashupatinath temple or to Lumbini, the birthplace of Lord Buddha, or to Muktinath temple, which is a combination, the avatar of Shiv and Buddha. I think that is the spirit which reflects the Nepal-India brotherhood. And with that spirit, I am confident that we can work in several areas. Couple of areas that come to my mind is the startup ecosystem. In a short span of time, we launched our Startup India mission only in 2016. 7 years later, we have grown from about 400 startups to nearly 100,000 startups. From 3 or 4 unicorns to over 108 unicorns. That could be an area where we can work together. The spirit of inquiry, the inquisitiveness in our young brothers and sisters from Nepal can be encouraged with more and more opportunities for them to find solutions for the day-to-day problems that we encounter in business or in our lives. Ease of doing business, ease of living is the mantra on which the Modi government is working. We'll be very, very happy to partner with Nepal to work in this direction. We also believe the MSME sector in both countries offers tremendous potential to work together and share experiences and opportunities. Let us take this partnership to provide opportunities to our MSMEs in both nations to expand opportunities, businesses, trade, commerce, and investment. Aristotle, the renowned philosopher, had said, and I quote, "Excellence is never an accident. It is always the result of high intention, sincere effort, and intelligent execution." I believe our business persons are intelligent. I believe our business people have high intention. I believe our business persons are truly sincere in their effort to promote business and serve the people of our two countries. I invite all of you to expand this brotherhood. Failure won't be an option. There's no option like failure. The only option we have, once we combine our collective passion, once we bring that drive, or if I may say overdrive in this relationship, success is guaranteed. Success is ensured. It's an opportune moment, friends, for all of us to collectively resolve to recalibrate our brotherhood, the relations between our two countries, to work for an inclusive and sustainable future for both countries. Our bilateral cooperation, the resilient supply chains that we wish to promote, the cooperation in the energy sector, which is very important, the work we are doing to promote infrastructure, the work we are doing on different sectors like pharmaceuticals or food security, our work to build technology and soft power within the people of Nepal will all work for maximizing the advantages that both countries, our business people and our people-to-people connect can take forward. May this business summit be the beginning of a new journey, a journey for fruitful outcomes that will shape the future of Nepal and India. My best wishes, friends, to all our esteemed dignitaries from Nepal. His Excellency, the Right Honorable Prime Minister of Nepal, has been truly gracious with his time for our business engagement. I truly wish to place on record the sincere thanks of business persons from both countries for your valuable time and for your valuable guidance to expand and take forward this partnership. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. Ladies and gentlemen, I now have the honor to invite our chief guest for today, His Excellency Pushp Kamal Dahal Prachanda, Right Honorable Prime Minister of Nepal, to deliver the keynote address.
Thank you. Thank you. Very good evening and namaste to everybody. Honorable Minister Sri Piyush Goyal ji, Minister of Commerce and Industry, Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution, and Textiles, Government of India. So many sectors are there. You are lucky enough to handle all these very sensitive sector of the industry and the business. My cabinet colleague, Honorable Minister Ramesh Rijal, Minister for Industry, Commerce and Supplies of Nepal, and all other ministers, Chairperson of CII and FNCCI, distinguished member of Nepali and Indian business community, friends from media, ladies and gentlemen. I am really happy to join the business community of Nepal and India this evening. When I was preparing to visit India, there were some queries, some questions, and today in the morning at 10 a.m. when I was entering the Rajghat to homage and to take inspiration from Mahatma Gandhi, there was a gently raining was there. Yeah, and I told my colleague and the partners that today is going to be the history in the relation between India and Nepal. Because in the morning, there is a gentle rain is there. And according to our psychology, when something better will happen, auspicious, And when in this evening, I am going to address this August gathering of business community and industrialists of both the countries, I feel that it was correct. Early in the morning, what I guessed, it has practically proved that this day is going to be the history. As Minister Goyal appealed to start a new journey, I want to conclude that new journey has already been initiated today. Now we should have to move forward in this historic journey. Let me begin by thanking the organizer CII and FNCCI for hosting this important summit. It has always been a great pleasure to interact with the leaders of business and industry. Today's gathering stands as a distinct opportunity as it brings together investors, entrepreneurs, and distinguished members of business community from Nepal and India. This is my fourth visit to India as the Prime Minister of Nepal. I fondly recall that almost on all previous occasions, I had the opportunity to interact with the business community in India. Today, I am talking to you again with a clear message. Government and private sector have no other option but to work in tandem for the development and prosperity. Private sector is an indispensable partner in development. It brings capital, technology, foster innovation, and promote competitiveness. In this tenure, as a third tenure, as a premier, in my first meeting of the cabinet, I decided that this time I will move forward with a fruitful and result-oriented interaction with the private sector. Without having a trust of the private sector, it is not possible to create a conducive atmosphere for the prosperity and development. I decided, and I am trying my best to create that favorable and conducive atmosphere for the private sector. Let us work to strengthen our partnership to unlock the huge potential for development and prosperity, as Minister Piyush Goyal very correctly mentioned about the situation. Dear friends, Nepal is now at the cusp of economic takeoff. We have achieved political transformation and institutionalized peace and democracy in the country. In the beginning, Minister Goyal mentioned something about my visit or travel or residence in India, sometimes in Mumbai, sometimes in Delhi, sometimes in Bangalore, sometimes in Assam, sometimes in Kashmir and Himachal Pradesh. This is something very unique and miracle. I studied India during that very adverse situation in Nepal. I was leading a radical movement, and I had the opportunity to interact with the intellectual of India, with the general masses of people of India in that very adverse situation. I came to understand what exactly the relation between India is like. What exactly is the meaning of people-to-people contact of our unique history, geography, culture in the context. I came to understand it. Today, I am trying to be benefited from that experience. And you are correct that our partnership is very unique, very historical. It is unparalleled with other country and other history. Now, socio-economic transformation constitutes our topmost priority agenda. We have to redouble our efforts to ensure a resilient economic recovery in the post-COVID-19 world. What we need is enhanced level of investment, smooth transfer of reliable and affordable technology, enhancement capacity for production and productivity, and generation of employment. In the pre-pandemic years, Nepal's economy demonstrated consistent growth of around 6%. Looking ahead, we are confident that this growth trajectory will continue in the coming years. Supported by higher industrial production, resumption of tourism, increased remittances, and investment, we anticipate moderately satisfactory growth rate in the coming year. We are graduating from LDC status by 2026. This offers us with an opportunity for enhancing productive capacity and structural transformation. This will not be realized without active collaboration from private sector and our development partners. We need to ensure that graduation is smooth, irreversible, and sustainable. Modernizing agriculture, strengthening connectivity infrastructure, unleashing hydropower potential, promoting export trade, tourism, and information technology sector are key to bring about structural transformation in our economy. Today, the international business environment is facing myriads of challenges posed by economic downturn, geopolitical uncertainties, and shifting priorities of nations have clogged the international business environment. This has led to sluggish growth, increasing inflation, and rising food and energy prices. In such a situation, solution to sustain economic growth may be better available in the neighborhood and the region close by. No country can prosper alone and stay away from the opportunities available in its neighborhood. Forging partnership and maximizing the benefits of complementarity in the region makes enormous business sense that can benefit both the business and society. This will help mobilize resources, bridge financing gap, expand market, and create win-win development outcome in cost-effective manner. Ladies and gentlemen, no countries other than Nepal and India share such an intimate friendship and deep-rooted cultural affinity, providing an excitingly favorable business environment. Moreover, the two governments are moving ahead with bold decision to transform the development landscape. This needs to be echoed by the private sector, which is a powerful engine of growth. Opportunities for investment abound across a wide range of areas, including mining, manufacturing, agriculture, energy, and tourism, infrastructure, information technology, and hospitality industry, to name a few. Our foreign investment policy is liberal and forward-looking. We have opened almost every sector of our economy to foreign investment. Abundance of natural resources, large pool of human capital, a promising market in the neighborhood, together with sound policy and regulatory framework, makes Nepal ideally an attractive destination for investment. A combination of policy, rules, incentives, structure, and other supporting facilities makes this possible. Nepal is a virgin land for investment. We are still at nascent stage of industrialization. Investment in every sector is profitable. Just look at what we offer. Our tariffs are low and the tax regime is simplified. Full repatriation of income is guaranteed. We assure you full protection of investment. We will continue reforming our investment regime. We have put in place an automated route for FDI approval. Nepal Central Bank, the Nepal Rashtra Bank, clears the repatriation within 7 days. The Investment Board of Nepal, IBN, provides one-stop service for the large-scale investment. Special economic zones in major industrial centers provide additional incentives. The modern trade-related infrastructure in Nepal, India border area offers opportunities for cross-border investment and industrialization. India's comparative advantage in investing in Nepal cannot be overstated. There are many enabling factors built on intimate friendship and closeness that I believe should motivate our Indian friends to come and invest in Nepal. Dear friends, I had a productive meeting with Prime Minister Modi ji today. Our discussion focused on cementing economic ties and promoting collaborative partnership on a range of areas. The agreement and understanding reached today have paved the way for realizing vast investment opportunities. On hydropower, an agreement on long-term power trade has been completed. This agreement makes the power trade between Nepal and India more predictable, thereby encouraging more investment in Nepal's hydropower sector. The 900 megawatt Arun III project with Indian investment is nearing completion. This upcoming 669 megawatt Lower Arun, 480 megawatt Phukot Karnali, West Seti and Seti River 6 hydel project will certainly generate fresh momentum in harnessing water resources in Nepal. It is a great moment forward in the power sector development. This time I took the decision. To some extent, I took the risk that we should have to create a new history in our cooperation in this sector. On trade and transit, we are upgrading cross-border connectivity infrastructure. the integrated checkpost, road and rail connectivity are being built to further ease the flow of goods and services. Modi ji and I took important initiative today for the development of such cross-border infrastructure. And you can imagine that Mr. Goel also mentioned, Modi ji stated that we should have to reach in the top of the Himalayas. Something new has already been done. On aviation sector, 2 additional airports in Bhairava and Pokhara are ready. I encourage the airlines companies to operate air service between various cities of India and Nepal. Dear friends, as a close neighbors, I encourage Indian private sector and entrepreneurs to join in value chain and take advantage of the readily available economic opportunities in Nepal. Before I conclude, I invite each and every one of you, distinguished industrialists, entrepreneurs, and captains of private sector, to make Nepal your investment destination. There are already success stories made by some Indian investment in Nepal. It has already been mentioned here. I believe this Nepal-India Business Summit will deliberate on exploring opportunity to further expanding economic partnership between Nepal and India. I wish this business summit all success. You have already done a very good job today. Both of this FNCCI and CII meeting has done a very good job. I want to convey my heartfelt thanks to the business community of both India and Nepal. Thank you.
The Right Honorable Prime Minister of Nepal, Shri Pushpa Kamal Dahal Prachanda ji, the Honorable Minister for Commerce and Industry, Mr. Piyush Goyal ji. Excellency, thank you for a very, very productive and very, very strong visionary address that you have given to the business communities of the two countries today. You outlined our key priorities. You have set the key priorities for the private sector and its engagement for commercial and business ties. Your vision for bilateral trade investment is very, very inspiring. And the India-Nepal Joint Business Forum, we would look forward towards achieving those aspirations. Excellency, the Right Honorable Prime Minister, Honorable Minister Shri Goyal, we really, from the businesses of the two countries, would like to thank you for your presence, your time, your guidance, and your inputs, and we commit ourselves to be engaged very strongly. We appreciate the friendship of FNCCI. This has been a true and a long-standing relationship, and we would like to build on it. To conclude this phenomenal session today, this evening, I'll request our Honorable Minister, Shri Piyush Goyal, to kindly hand over a token of appreciation and memento to the Right Honorable Prime Minister of Nepal.
I'd like to request the President FNCCI to honor Mr. Piyush Goyal, our Commerce Minister, with a token of appreciation. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we come to a close of the session. Thank you all for being with us. Can we hear a round of applause for all our dignitaries and all our ministers in the audience? Kindly wait till the dignitaries have left the room.